What's up, YouTube? First and foremost, shout out to all my subscribers. Keep running those likes up and drop those comments. Put those aliens in there. Let's keep rocking. I know you guys already know this, but by doing that does push my content out with the algorithm, and I do appreciate it. However, I only say it to help remind you. I really like to be able to break over 100 likes, man. You know, when I get 200 or 300 views, if everybody drops a like on there and drops a comment, and if you don't know what to put as a comment, man, put an alien, put a spaceship, put a thumbs up, put a WW, put an alien army. Some people are actually dropping that, and that sounds really cool. So if that's what the people that rock with me want to call themselves, I'm down with that, man. You know, y'all let me know inside the comments. But I've been seeing that a little bit, which is really cool. See what else. I do have a Cash App. It's the same as my YouTube name, AlienAscend. I put that in the description. The name of this video is How I Became Homeless Part 2. So the first one is my current situation. This Part 2 is the other times in my life where I've been homeless, and I'm going to dive into that. If you don't know, I am homeless. You know, kind of no-brainer. If you want to find out why my situation is like this, I do have a Part 1. It's I think the first long form content video that I put. I do live in my vehicle, so I live in my vehicle on the streets, but it's not really the streets. I stay at rest areas and truck stops and things like that. So if this is the first time that you're watching my video, maybe subscribe if you like the content, and then check out some of my other videos as well. We're growing every single day, which is really cool. I need to run those watch time hours up, so if there's videos that you haven't seen of me, maybe take a look at that and help me out a little bit and run it up. I think I need about 1,000 more watch hours before I can try to monetize. Sitting a little bit more forward than normal. Oh, by the way, if you're checking out the shirt, In and Out, man, that's my favorite hamburger place. I am in the Midwest, but I have ate at In and Out, and I love it. What I normally get, I know this is a little bit sidetracked, but I'm gonna talk to people that actually tried it before. Double animal style, no pickles, well done. Then with the fries, I like to get of course, large fry, animal style with extra spread. I probably look like I'm healthy enough to eat that stuff, but like I eat it all the time. But no, there's no In-N-Out near me. I'm in the Midwest, but however, I have ate there before. I got this shirt here from In-N-Out a long time ago, and I like rocking it, man. It feels like it gives me good luck. You know, maybe it's because I remember how good their hamburgers are, and it's been a long time since I had one. But yeah, large fry, animal style, extra spread, and then if I'm really hungry, I'll I guess, I mean, that's a lot of food already, but normally a strawberry shake or milk vanilla shake. Even their chocolate shell shakes are good, you know. But I'm gonna jump into this video. It's How I Became Homeless Part 2. All right, so bear with me on this. This might be a little bit long video, but there's going to be a lot of stuff in here that's I think that you will find interesting and entertaining, and it will help you understand me when I was younger. Okay. And excuse me if I cough and stuff like that. I live in my car. Tonight's not going to be as cold as it's been, which is great. Man, my lower back has been killing me, man, sleeping in this driver's seat. I normally lay myself all the way down in the back, like I have half my body inside the trunk and half myself like on the seats that are laid down. However, when it's really cold, like I'm talking -7, -10, -2, like it's been the last few days, that trunk isn't insulated. My feet get way too cold, and I'm worried about it. However, I'm good. I'm healthy. I think the circulation's been better in my legs and my feet, getting out and walking, running heat on there, watching what socks I have, actually elevating my legs 3 or 4 times a day. And I think it was just the real cold, like the negative stuff was affecting me. So that's an update on that. But so let's start when I was 16. Okay, I'm 16 years old. I'm jumping straight into the video now, so rock with me. So when I was 16 years old, I mean, I'm the youngest in my family. And if you wanted to learn more about me, I have a video called My Traumatic Childhood. If you watch that, you really will understand stuff. YouTube doesn't push it. I think that I was a little bit too explicit in it, maybe. I don't know. However, nonetheless, definitely check that out. I really opened myself up in that video, but I'm not here to plug stuff. I'm just talking and trying to give you a background story. I know that some people will want a YouTube video where it's like, here's the meat and potatoes, but to me, it's, you got to go ahead and build up that story. And I'm not building up with fluff. I'm just trying to set the background to, I'm just trying to set the scene, I guess. Not background, but set the scene up, and give you all the details to flow with me. So now I'll jump into it. When I'm 16 years old, My older brother. I got 2 older brothers and I got 1 older sister. And so the brother that's not my oldest brother, but the brother above that. Shit. Sorry about that. At least you get a phone mount, but I'm not gonna cut that. I don't care. Brother that's older than me. He's older than me by a few years. He gets arrested, and I'm 16 years old at the time, and I had no idea. But he gets, I didn't know what was going on with him. But we all live inside the same house and everything else. He gets arrested, and it came out to be where his charges were under the influence and also possession of a controlled substance. That's what he got charged with. He got busted with 2 other people. One person was a minor. That minor went ahead and was released to their parents. The other person was a snitch, or turned out to be a snitch, and he was the driver. And everything landed on him. However, he was guilty, as far as I understand. So, he gets busted for that. I'm 16. That happens, right? And if you watch The Traumatic Childhood, I love my brothers and I love my sisters so very much, and I've always been very, very protective over them. Even though I'm the youngest, there's a lot of stuff that I never got the baby of the family treatment. I sure as hell would have loved it. I've never, nobody's ever, it really does feel like nobody's ever given me the easy way out, or people looked out for me. It was like that. Maybe it was all tough love, and maybe it worked out for the best, and it is what it is. I'm not here to complain. I'm a very positive person, but nonetheless, he gets busted like that. When he gets busted like that, his girlfriend at the time, her father calls, and he's somebody of importance, so to speak. He calls, and he does a few things. I hit the I grew up in bad areas, and I know how to pass kites. I know how to send messages. People down the outs, they got family in the inside, so we put word out, watch out for them and everything else. And I'm just being honest. This is not no clout thing. This does not mean I have power or anything like that. At the time, we were just trying to make sure he was okay. And that's what we were putting the messages out, like, if he's all right, watch out for him. He gets out. He wasn't in there very long. He was because that was another thing too. We didn't know how long he was going to be in there for. We couldn't afford a lawyer. We were very poor and things like that. But he gets out probably about a week later. Gets out, and since it's the first time offense, he's like never been busted before. Of course, he was over the age of 18, so he went to county jail, and it was. I understand some places the county jail could be some. If you get arrested, you're in like a little tiny holding cell and stuff like that. This isn't the case. No, this is a very big place, man. It's big, and it's like straight up orange jumpsuits, and then you got It's all the way out there, and it's it's very big. It's not like a little substation where you were there for a couple hours. I know that there's parts of the United States that are like that. This area is not like that at all. So he goes ahead and gets out in a week, and when he does that, then we find out that he's having addiction problems, and I've never had them. I've always stayed away from that stuff. One of the big reasons why is because I saw what happened to my friends and family. However, I do know that this stuff goes on, and I'm not stupid. Some of my friends became gang members, and some of my friends became, advocates to people who have bad issues. And I tried not to judge them on that, but I didn't hang around with them like that. Like I knew them as, like as a different person. You know what I mean? I knew them. Somebody I went to school with, somebody I backed up when things got bad. People that we watched out for. A lot of us fought each other, especially the way that I grew up. That happened, and they knew me since I was like 5 years old. Like a lot of these people from this neighborhood, right? It's more than just a neighborhood. There's like a whole city, and the city's huge and whatnot. So we find out that he's got an issue. We've got several issues, and we kind of have like a family meeting, and we're like, what's going on, and he's he says what happened and everything else, and he kept his mouth shut, and so and so snitched, and this person was a minor, and all the details, and we knew where he got it from, and who was people we knew, and of course we let them know that hey, it wasn't him. Check out the paperwork. Everything's good. They knew that stuff would happen if if things went bad, they would have had an issue if they tried to touch my brother at the time. A very big issue. They would have to at least deal with me, and I was a nightmare at the time. Like, you know, and I'm not trying to be some tough guy. I know everybody's a tough guy until they meet one. I was very you know, hot-headed, very protective. Nothing stopped me when I set my mind to something, especially like that. Like, you're not going to hurt me, and you're not going to hurt my family. And I was very protective like that. Still am to this day. A lot smarter and a lot wiser, but you know, I wasn't as impulsive, and I think that's what happened. So I'm not making excuses. I do take accountability for my actions, and I was just very impulsive. Thankfully, I have learned to be better, and I really have. I'm not just saying that to sound good. I think about my actions beforehand. I have videos that prove it, you know, risk versus reward. I really don't do anything until I really put my mind to something and think, okay, is this a good decision or a bad decision? If you understand what I'm saying. So nonetheless, that happens, and he's got some kind of bullcrap probation thing, and he's got to take a drug course. And that drug course is very, very expensive and very, very hard. You know, like, you know, if you mess up on that, it's something like you know, if you mess up on that, you're getting locked up for probably a year county, and maybe some other stuff. I don't know if it would go to the state after that, but I know it was like a county year. Just for messing up one time on it, and that's, you know, pretty severe. You know what I mean? You know, so what happened is we all had a family meeting. He said, you know, that he's not going to do any of this stuff anymore. He got wrapped up, accidents happened, and you know, you know, he learned from it. You know, there's no reason to keep you know, like, you know, we don't put you know, like, I'm very big on not putting people down to feel better by yourself. You know, I'm about helping somebody. You know, I'm about, you know, if you got issues, I don't want to, you know, I'm not here to point my finger at you. I'm here to go ahead and you know, instead of, you know, always saying what the problem is, I want to come with solutions. So if you meet me halfway and you say that you know you messed up, and you know, that you want to get back on track, I'm with you 100%. You know, like, that's what, you know, that's what I want to hear. If you say that you didn't do anything and all the evidence proves otherwise, and you're trying to lie and manipulate and stuff like that, how can I help you if you're lying to my face? Clearly you don't respect me, or clearly you don't want to change, so I can't help you. You know what I mean? He says all that stuff, and it was really, really hard on all of us, man. Like, you know, we were poor, so this costed a lot of money. Also, it's in another city, and it was weird times. You know, like, that he's got to go like 3 or 4 times a week, and it's got to, you know, it's several months. It's like, I think like 3 or 6 months, something like that. And like, getting him rides, making sure he's all right. You know, all that stuff, being very supportive. So he gets to the end of his thing, and this is why I'm telling you when I'm 16, like, so you could understand what I get into later. So yeah, he's right at the end of his thing, and however, he's never popped the random, which, you know, random urine test or whatever. So at the very end, because he like flew underneath the radar, he gets one, and he's like, hey, they're like, hey, you need to come here at this place and this time for your random urine analysis, and if that goes good, then we can submit the documents to the court, and you know, it will be you'll be okay. You know what I mean? Like, no crazy jail time. You were able to complete this, so that means that, you know, you are now good in the eyes of the law, so to speak, right? He comes to me. He tells me this, and he tells me that he'd been doing Snoop Dogg activities, and that's all he was doing. Not the hard stuff, not the stuff that he got busted for, but he did Snoop Dogg activities. And he tells me this because he wants me to, he doesn't just want my urine, because, you know, like I said, I was clean and everything else. I've always been that way. He wants me to go in there and pretend to be him, and I'm a minor. So, you know, and this is a very long time ago, and this could be entertainment, you know, for entertainment stuff. You know, like, this might not be a true story. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that to cover my bases. It might be for entertainment. You never know. But nonetheless, I go in there. You know, he tells me that stuff. I dress like him. I'm 16 years old. My hair is like Leland from Dog Bounty Hunter. But that show wasn't out at the time, but like, so like the top right here, you know, I got a shaved head. Top right here was all long hair, ponytail, and the sides were shaved up right here. And one of the reasons I'm, you know, like, I was going bald up here. I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, shaved head. Always wear a hat. So he gives me like his social security card. I dress like the dude. You know, we don't look like each other. Just to let you know, I'm 130 pounds at the time. You know, I was skinny my whole life. You know, till like after 23, didn't put on weight. However, I was really skinny. He's very tall. He's like 6'5". It's not even like he's like 6'5". He's probably 6'4", 6'4.5", and sometimes you know, he's a big guy, really big. He's not just tall. He's not tall, skinny, and lengthy. He's tall, muscular, and at different times in his life, he was lean and built, and then other times he was overweight and still had muscle and still very strong. I go in there and I guess to show you, you know, just you know, what happens. I go in there and I take the test for him, and they want an ID, and I don't look like him, but I show him the social security card, and I tell him that the class actually has my ID. You know, I came up with something right off the top of my head. I said that, and they said, okay, well, we still have to have a you know, a picture of you. We got to take a photo of you. And I said, okay. They actually had a Polaroid, so that goes to show you that, you know, nowadays everybody's got digital phones to take a picture, or a digital camera and all that stuff. No, they pulled out a Polaroid and took a picture of me. He bit the bullet and went to the classes the next week or two. I think it was 2 weeks before he would have graduated this class. They never said a word to him, and he passed. And I'm the one who saved him. There was conversations that I had with them that, you know, hey, I don't want you doing this. I know them, I'm the younger brother, but I've always felt like I was always the oldest one. Nobody jumped into fights to save me. I had to jump into theirs. You know, if you watch my traumatic childhood thing, I'm the one who stopped my mom's husband from hurting me and hurting everybody else and hurting her, you know, even more. So I do encourage you to watch that video. You know, if you haven't seen that, like, watch this one first and check it out if you haven't. And I call him my mom's husband, but he's my biological father, and he's my brother's and sister father as well. But I just won't call him that. You know, I have no respect for the person. You know, I'll leave it like that. So that happens, and then you know, a couple of years later, you know, like, I'm 18 now, so that happened when I was 16, and we weren't, like, you know, from the age of me going from 16 to 18, we're not so close. Like, we live in the same house, you know, we see each other, but we don't hang out with each other like that. He's got his group of friends, I got my group of friends, and you know, stuff like that. And you know, like, and I know a lot of people from the neighborhood. You know, we moved to a new city, but I still know that other cities, you know, whole neighborhood. On the weekends growing up, when I was 12 years old all the way till like I was 18, on the weekends I'd spend the night at my friends' houses, and sometimes I'd spend the night at mine. And it was, you know, like, I was always still around that, even though I was doing very well. You know, being, you know, like, trying to shake the hood, but not giving up on my friends that I cared about very much, and, you know, and whatnot. If that makes sense. When I'm 18, he like, he starts telling me, you know, like, it was about a week or two after I turned 18, and I got I couldn't land a job as a miner working at places. I filled out lots of applications. I mean, I did do like small little odd jobs of, like, you know, cutting grass and stuff like that. If I really think about it, there's some other stuff that I probably did before 18. But remember, when I was 18, first thing I did was run to the DMV and get my ID, man. You know, prove my age. I go ahead and do that, and I land a job as a dishwasher. And when I'm as a dishwasher, I'm stacking my money a little bit and helping out with my family, you know, being able to pay rent, buying groceries, and, you know, giving a little bit of money, and then also putting a little bit of money myself away. And it's hard work too. Dishwashing, very hard work. You know, especially, you know, if you've never done it before. You know, at that age, I remember, like, it was just very laborish, hot water splashing on you, and it was an Italian restaurant that I worked at as a dishwasher. Huge like machines that, like, made certain kind of dough and stuff like that for, like, noodles and for whatever the hell was being cooked, tell you the truth. But these things were huge, man, and they were awkward getting them into a sink, and some of them are, you know, like, over 75-pound looking mixers, you know, for him to do whatever. I'm not sure what recipes he was making at the time, but I just know that a lot of that equipment was like industrial, commercial equipment that was very huge and hard. Of course, the other stuff as well, like plates, glasses, and forks, knives, spoons, and all that kind of stuff, and wine glasses and stuff. But I'm 18 doing that, and we're living in some of the same house, and like the whole time, maybe some suspicious stuff would happen every once in a while, like maybe he's back doing stuff, but I really don't, like, there was nothing that stood out too much. In hindsight now, I can see it, but I can't really pinpoint some stuff, you know what I mean? At the time, I thought everything was okay. He starts saying that things are coming up missing in the house. Like he had a Chevy Blazer, and he said that his speakers were ripped out of his car. He said that he was missing stuff from his bedroom, and I don't have a bedroom at the time because like this house didn't have a lot of bedrooms. I was actually sleeping in the den area. There was like a living room, a kitchen, and the den, and I'd say in the den it was kind of an open area. And then in my mom's bedroom, like she gave me a little bit of closet space, and then and she had a bathroom that was attached to her bedroom, and then she gave me like a bathroom drawer to keep some of my personal stuff at. But and of course in the den area where the TV was, like I had like a DVD player, and then there was some drawers off to the right hand side that kept my stuff. So I didn't even have a bedroom, man, but I did sleep on the couch, and I was in the den, and for the most part it was kind of my own little area. It didn't have privacy. When people went in the kitchen and turned the lights on and made stuff, all I could hear was the clinking and clanking. It was right next to the den area, but it is what it is. So yeah, he was saying that things are coming up missing, and stuff of mine started coming up missing as well. Like I had like antique knives, like that I collected. I had certain stuff. Roll it up. I'm at my truck stop, and it gets loud here. Well, I shouldn't say my truck stop. I'm at a truck stop, sleeping for I'm going to be sleeping here for tonight. And of course, when trucks or cars come in, I can hear the noise, and hopefully it doesn't get picked up on the cell phone. But I don't want to get sidetracked too much. But he says things are coming up missing and stuff like that, and keep an eye out. So I'm doing that. I'm like keeping an eye out and stuff. Mine comes up missing. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And long story short, with that, well, I guess I shouldn't even be like that. He was acting like his stuff was being stolen, and he was stealing inside the house. And when that was going on, I had no idea that that's what his whole game plan was. I mean, how do you know when an addict is lying? Their mouth moves. You know what I'm saying? I got firsthand experience. I lived with somebody who was like this, and it was not just one thing of choice with him. He did anything and everything he can get his hands on. Of course, he had his favorites, and unfortunately, I don't think I could say them on here, but try to use your imagination. I know what really messed his head up the most was, I'll tell you the first two letters, LS. Figure out the last one, but then it started being the real hard stuff, that you can imagine. Maybe I'll try to sneak it in somehow, but watch this video, maybe I'll say it. Like I'll give you a clue. So nonetheless, that's happening, and I'm like keeping an eye out. We do live across the street from a park. I'm making sure like stuff from the garage was missing, my stuff is missing, he's saying his stuff's missing, my mom's saying things are missing. And at this time, my sister of course doesn't live there. She's moved she's moved out way, my sister's way older, moved out, and is doing her own little life, and that kind of stuff. However, inside the house is myself and two of my brothers and my mom. My oldest brother is working very, very hard, and he's very straight edge and things like that. He had it bad, I had it bad, we all had it bad growing up, and that's why I said maybe watch a traumatic childhood video when you're done watching this. However, at this time, but he's very, very, very quiet. He won't talk to anybody. Like, I mean, I have years of living inside the same house. This is my oldest brother. Years living under the same household, under the same roof, and him not saying more than one or two words throughout the whole year. Even to my mother, to anybody. He's very, very, very quiet. He's not like that anymore. He's a little bit different now, but this is back then. So some of his stuff is coming up missing, but not too much. He's also a very, very big guy. I'm like one of the smallest in my family. To give you an idea, I'm 6 foot, and I'm a little bit over 227 pounds. I need to lose about 7 pounds. But growing up, I was big. I was 5'11", 6 foot, and I was 130 pounds. I couldn't put on weight. I couldn't. Hold on a second. What was that noise? Oh shit. Sorry about that transition. Had somebody park next to me, like literally right next to me. There are spots open here. I don't want anybody parked next to me. One, because like unless I don't know, unless I know you, I really don't want you that close. But the bigger thing is it's still cold. It's cold enough where the car that parked next to me, man, it runs ragged. And they run that engine even if they're idling. Like, I don't want to breathe that crap in. I already have a bad cough. I think it's because I breathe in diesel and car exhaust and stuff like that, and it being cold. So I moved. But yeah, that annoyed me. That person didn't have to do that. I don't like people getting close, and by me doing that, sends a signal like, dude, I don't want anybody near me. Yeah, which is all right. So I did watch my little last video to see where I left off, so I wouldn't get sidetracked now. Something I want to clear up when I said, yeah, I need to lose about 7 pounds. I'm 227 pounds. I really should be around 200, but I am trying to get under 220 and lose some weight. That's going to help me with my physical, because I still want to keep my physical, my truck driving in good standing. For me to do that, I need to be underneath 220 pounds, just to be on the safe side. But I want to get in shape, and I am working towards that. And maybe my content moving forward will add a little bit more into that. But I don't want to get sidetracked. So yeah, things are coming up missing. And I was explaining, who lives inside my house and stuff like that. And it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. A beautiful backyard. This house is haunted. Maybe I'll make videos about it being haunted later. However, I'm trying not to get sidetracked here. So basically, he is manipulating the situation of, he first said something was missing of his, and then other stuff is missing. Then I'm missing items. I'm missing tools. I'm missing antique knives. I'm missing the little collectible stuff that I like, video games, things like that. My mom's missing stuff. The stuff my mom's missing is pure silver, like silver half dollars and full dollars, and like some like coins that her father had left her. Like, more than it just being worth money, it's sentimental stuff. My oldest brother, I think that his change jar got into, and he had some $20 bills in it that like that, and some watches. The watches weren't nothing too crazy, like $20-$30 watches, but things are missing. And in the garage, tools, and all that kind of stuff, right? Sorry for that transition again. Literally just another just speeding down this road. Sorry for that transition again. Literally got a phone call. I might even leave that little part where it shows you can hear my phone ringing. Kind of funny. I always watch the clip to make sure that I'm still staying on point here. So nonetheless, I'm not trying to drag it out too much. Things are coming up missing. I've already explained pretty well enough that he's manipulating the situation and stuff like that. I know something's going on at this point. And at first I checked the usual suspects, somebody from the park, our neighbors breaking in, what's going on. And then I hit the streets. And when I hit the streets, I'm checking my old friends, not, when I call them old friends, like, we're still friends, but I mean old as I've known them for a very long time. I go around there. I'm like, hey man, y'all heard anything? What's the word on the street? That kind of stuff. And I'm at a friend's house, and when I'm at a friend's house, I'm talking to him, and he's like, I'm gonna try to sound like him a little bit, but he's like, hey homie, your brother clucked me this, is what he tells me. He's like, your brother clucked me this, and it was like something of mine. It's more than something. It was a couple of knives, and I think it was a portable jigsaw is what it was. Not even a portable. It was actually a plug-in jigsaw. Now that I'm thinking about it, but basically he tells me that my brother sold him these things, and then he also says, and I probably did a bad impression of the person. He's Hispanic, Mexican, and somebody I've known for like I said, long time. I've known most of these people since I was 5 years old, and how I grew up and everything else. But he goes and he says that stuff, and he is somebody that if you brought him stuff, he would give you things for it. You know what I mean? So now it's clicking, and he tells me that stuff, and then on top of it, Maybe I'll try to sound like him in a minute, but he basically flat out says, too bad, so sad, he brought it, I don't care that it's yours. Now when he says that stuff, I'm going to try to say it the way that it came out of his mouth. Serio Bezo, homie. No, hey, this is mine. Hey, he clutched it to me, homie. Nah, and you ain't getting it, and like, I'm sure he used a couple other words, but that's what he says. What it comes off to me is that I believe that his brain must have went on vacation before those words left his mouth. He must have really forgot that we've known each other since we're 5 years old, and at that time, you really shouldn't have said that shit to me. And you think that I would just stand there and sit there and take the fact that, I don't care if it was my brother who stole my stuff and sold it to you. I don't care if it was somebody I didn't know that stole my stuff and sold it to you. It's mine. You ain't keeping it. And that out your mouth, especially at the time, I got to reiterate that stuff. Like, a lot smarter and a lot more, mature now. I probably would handle things a lot different. But when that came out of his mouth, things came flying at him, and it was my hands, and it was on right then and there. Unfortunately, what happened was, I hurt the guy really, really bad, and I do have remorse. My little personal items and my pride and my respect at the time didn't I should have let that stuff go, but I was very prideful. I didn't want to look weak. I didn't like what he was saying. I also didn't like that my brother was stealing and was flat out being a junkie. I hurt him really, really bad, to the point that I actually ended up having to give him CPR, that he did lose his motor skills, and he was a gang member, and his family was very, very upset with me. They understood it was personal. They knew me my whole life. That's probably maybe why I got somewhat of a pass. But no, his brain went on vacation. He should have known better. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, telling me that. If he was a really, really good friend, or if, maybe he had a lapse of judgment, he could have been like, hey, this costed me money by giving it to you, but on the strength of me knowing you our whole lives, and you don't roll like that, hey bro, something cool, but then again, people are going to do what they're going to do, especially if the streets and ego and pride and everything else. However, I do feel horrible that I hurt that person like that, and that it got to that level. But I'm just and I'm not making excuses. I am accountable for my own actions. I did learn from that. I know not to do that moving forward. I should only do that to defend myself or defend somebody that I love, and I want to reiterate that. And I do not want to come off like a cringy tough guy thing. I'm just telling you what happened, though. Have I gotten beaten? In fact, I don't like talking about ones where I hurt people, because it bothers me. I'd much rather tell you the times where I got beaten really bad, and it's not because I want to look like a victim or anything like that. It's because, it's easier for me to tell you that I got the tail end of something really, really horrible to me than me say something about how I hurt somebody. But this is what happened. That goes on, and I was giving the guy CPR. He wasn't breathing, and I hurt him really, really bad. And then, of course, I go back to my house, and now it's nothing but turmoil. And I did get my possessions after everything happened. I when took my stuff. I let the family know what was going on. There was a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting, a lot of threats, a lot of stuff like that. Man, is this guy parked next to me again? No. I just hear a loud truck. You guys probably hear it too. So I'm gonna just roll my window up a little bit. I thought the dude was that I moved from decided to park next to me again, and now that would be an issue since I moved away. You parked next to me when I was clearly trying to get away from your vehicle that smells so bad, running your exhaust and everything else. So I go inside my house, and it's nothing but big old argument, a big old fight. I tell him what happened, and like, dude, you're the one who's been doing this. How did my stuff go over there? He said it was you. And then also, picking up the phone, calling other people, finding out that I'm hearing rumors and that it's all true and stuff like that. He manipulates the situation, and so I have all this evidence, I have all this proof, but he's always been able to manipulate my mom and say certain things. That's just how he is, I guess. And I don't know how to always explain it, but he tells my mother that I'm a hothead, that I flew off the handle, and that he spins it. And I don't know all the details because I'm not there. I'm just hearing little bits and pieces. And when I'm hearing that, my mom's not saying you did this, Alien, you did this, and so it was more like she's taking his side, but she's not saying I did anything crazy. And I'm like, I can't stay in a place where I have my stuff stolen. I also can't stay in a place like I'm trying to watch after you and you're being a foul-mouthed junkie. You're taking my stuff, you're taking everybody's stuff, and you're doing this. And look what the hell just happened. It was very dramatic. It was bad. I go ahead and I move out. So now we're gonna go into the homeless part two of what happened. I move out. Like I said, I was a dishwasher at the time. I think I did a little bit of couch surfing for a few days, and then the money I was making wasn't very much. And then I moved into construction and things like that, being a day laborer and working at tip agencies and stuff like that, and started renting rooms. That went on for quite some time, so like I was like 18, a little bit after 18 at the time, maybe even like close to 19. Now I'm doing that for a couple of years. However, I'm still in the same city, and my mother does not live very far from me. I pop over there from time to time. I'm still, like I go in there to like wash clothes. I see my mom, I see him. When I see him, sometimes it's casual and cool where we talk for a little bit, but then there's other times where he's buried in his bedroom and everything else. I was very, very close with his girlfriend. Like he had a girlfriend for a very long time, like his high school sweetheart that he was still with, and she was like a sister. Like I loved her like a sister, man. My sister also before she married the person she did, was with somebody for a very long time, and I loved him like a brother. And like we were always real tight. Like my mother loved them as well. Like they were part of the family 100%. Like blood might make you related, but loyalty makes you family. And they were family, and they might as well have been blood related as far as I was concerned. That's going to play a part into it later. So like I told you, when I was 16, when he went to jail, his girlfriend's her father was somebody kind of important. I'll give you a hint. 100% Italian. Her and her father was an important person and things like that. And he was still with her. So a couple of years go by, and I bounce around from renting a room here and there. Maybe there's a couple times where I got to go back to my mom's house for just like a few days and whatnot. And then my mom tells me, she says, there's no rent control at this house, and it's the person who owns it really boosts it up like $600 more a month, and it gives my mom like a month or two before that happens. And my mom's got a lot of stuff. This is even though it's a 3-bedroom 2-bedroom house, this is a very big home. Like a 2-car garage that is filled with nothing but all sorts of belongings. A master bedroom that my mother lives in, that's the closet's filled. The side of the house where the garage was a bunch of different bicycles. Some of them were in good condition, some of them not. There was a pool in the backyard, and that was beautiful. That was well taken care of. Lots of fruit trees, things like that. There was, just a lot of belongings, and we had lived there for, like, my mom had lived there for, I probably want to say like close to 10 years, something along those lines. So, she tells me she needs help moving and things of that nature. And I'm pretty sure I was in between jobs and probably in between places, and I go ahead and I'm staying there, and and when she asks us this, it's not right when the rent control. First she says, if everybody can chip in, we can make this rent, even though it's been busted by, it's been busted open by 600. So she asked me if I move back in, can I throw in 200 or 300, and then also cover some other bills to help her? And I said, yeah, absolutely. My brother, who's straight out junkie, he was working construction, but it was off and on, and at this point he wasn't working at all. And then my oldest brother, he wanted to move out. He's a lot older. He wanted to go get his own place and be closer to where he works at, and also wanted to pursue a family. Like, you know, he wanted at that point he's more talkative. He wants to meet women, and like not just meet women, like meet a woman that he can spend the rest of his life with. You know what I mean? And start a family. So that's basically how that goes. So he doesn't, oldest brother is moving out. That's set in stone. Other brother, no income. Me, I got a little bit of income, but I wasn't living there, and I was maybe I was in between places, but I could have landed something, and I was like, yeah, I could chip in, and my junkie brother didn't have anything. So she asks me towards the tail end, like it was like a week or two before she had to move out of her house. Can I, would I be willing to come over there and help her start packing, because she's been like, my mom has multiple sclerosis, so is she really packing stuff? No, but she's enlisting help from my sister. She's enlisting help from different family members, her sons, you know what I mean? Her daughter. I go ahead and I'm helping, and she's telling me that where she's going to move to, my sister has acquired an apartment for her. However, it was a 2-bedroom apartment, but nobody could move in there but her, because only my mom's name was going to go on the lease, and anybody else, like my sister lived in the same apartment complex, and she like did this big old spiel that my mom's there just to take care of herself, and my sister will be there to go to the grocery store and do little small things, and maybe take her to the doctors and stuff like that. So I go ahead and I'm like, all right, so I'm helping with everything, for like the last week or two, and the whole time, like, my junkie brother is still having little scumbag people that I really don't know, popping in. Some of them are just like nasty dirty women, and that he's hooking up with, and he still has that girlfriend from high school that that he's really like, that was a very lovely person and was like a sister to me, more than like a sister. She might as well have been my sister, and my mom looked at her like a daughter. She was very, very good, cool person, and like, we've known her for a long ass time. One night while I'm there, she shows up and she catches my junkie brother outside, smooching on one of these little dirty skeezers, and she confronts him, and she said, who the hell is her? And she's not going nuts, but she's a very quiet and kind of shy person, but she's like, like, who is that? What's going on? If you're gonna do that stuff, tell me to my face. And that's what she's saying. And of course, I hear the commotion, so I'm walking towards the front door. I didn't quite know what was going on. It was happening like right in the front door. Like, she was inside the front door, like inside the house, but the front door was open. Like, he had just let her in, and he's like standing right there as well. Of course, when that's going on, all of a sudden he turns up and just flings her right out the door, man. Like, not like a little gentle, like, she never put his hands on him or anything like that. He just throws her, like, might as well just ragdolled her out there, and she went flying. And when she did that, of course, she just didn't fly. Like, she landed on her, like almost landed on her face, like, like tumbled and everything like that. And I've always had a big issue with men doing anything towards a woman, especially if it's somebody I care about. But I mean, you should never do anything like that. And it was very uncalled for. She didn't slap him, and then he pushed her. This was just him being a spazzed out junkie, and somebody who is dirty, a scumbag. Does that, and we get in a fist fight right then and there. And I probably say we both lost. It's not like I got anything from it. I didn't want to hurt him. He just assaulted her, and it really pissed me off. And I went ahead and we started fighting right then and there. And during the fight, a lot of stuff got broken inside the living room that was like by the door and whatnot. That happens, and I go ahead, and that's when I was on the streets, living there for about want to say like 2.5, maybe even 3 months. And at that time, what I was doing was, I of course was trying to land new jobs with temporary agencies, and sometimes that was okay, sometimes I wasn't. I was, sleeping behind a tennis park, well, a tennis ball area inside of a park. I was also finding those vacant apartments, and I was burrowing my way in. I talked about that, staying at bandos, sleeping at parks, a little bit of couch surfing, and then all of a sudden, my best friend's mom had seen me over at at a park, and asked, is AlienAscend, is he doing okay, and blah blah blah. And he told her the story. He's like, nah, he's out on the streets. And what I was doing to make money at the time was, there was a couple different bars around that area, and they threw their glass away. Like, they recycled everything else, but I was in, it was right across the street from grocery stores, so I'd run across the street to the bar with the shopping cart, and I would load that up with all the glass, because glass is really heavy, and I would take it to the recycling place that wasn't very far from there. Sometimes it was right inside the same shopping center as a grocery store, so take the shopping cart, do that, and roll back. There was times where I'd go inside there and 5-finger discount food. I didn't like doing any of that stuff. I've never liked any of that stuff. However, there was times where I thought that was the only thing necessary for me to do, and I do regret it. Desperation can make people do certain stuff that they don't always agree with. My best friend's mom, she tells my best friend, tell him that he's welcome to stay there, and I had landed a painting job at that time. That very same day, in fact, and I was going to go ahead and start getting paid, I think $40 to $60 a day, being trained as a painter. And then once I started doing it good, I think it was like between $80 and $100, depending on how good I was, a day. So, $80 to $100 back then, I mean, could be $700 a month, $700 a week. That's before taxes and all that stuff. But it was looking pretty halfway decent. I go ahead and stay at my friend's mom's house, and my friend's mom's house, and then I'll jump into the story a little bit more. My friend, he tells me that him and his old lady is fighting, and when they're fighting, he said that he's moving out, and that his mom said that it was okay for him to come back, and wanted me to come pick him up. Of course, I had a car at the time. I go ahead and pick him up. When I pick him up, we load my car up. I go there, and she says that, even though that's his son, that he's her son, he still has to pay rent, and he's got no money. And it was something like $400 a month, if I remember correctly. I paid it right then and there. Now, when I first moved into that house, I had a conversation with my friend's mom, and she knew me since I was 5 years old as well. And I told her, I said, and I said it really nice, I said, if you ever want me to move out, or if things aren't working out, I go, there never has to be a big fight. Like, there never has to be a turmoil. If you just come to me and say, Alien, I want you to leave, or like, Alien, can you move out? I'm okay with you just saying those words. What I don't want anybody to ever do is start a fight with me, or be a turmoil where there's, silence here and slamming doors there, or starting a fight and then a big old commotion. It's okay for you to tell me that you don't want me there. I won't take it personally. It ain't gonna hurt me. Like the way that you might think, and I'm different than everybody else that way. If you just tell me that I'm unwanted, I mean, I don't stay anywhere that I'm unwanted. I'm okay leaving, even if the situation is really bad. I'm not gonna be like, well, it's 7 degrees outside, can I just stay here another night? No, I don't want to stay there another night once you tell me I'm not welcome. You know what I mean? That's how I am. So I went ahead and left, and I asked her, I said I can leave. I said, when do you want me to leave? And she said, today if possible. And I said, okay. I said, I can leave today. I said, however, I don't think I can get all my stuff. I said, will it be okay if I leave some of my stuff here for a couple of days while I figure things out? And she said, she's like, how long do you need? And I said, maybe a week to get all my stuff, if that's okay. She said, that's absolutely fine. She's like, but you said you're leaving today? I said, yeah, I can leave today. I have my car. I'll figure something out. I go, but I'd like to be able to land a new place before I take my dresser and all my clothes and, the things I've accumulated, especially with painting, like really bad, not bad, but a really good spray mask, really bad mats I had. Even I had some good mats. I had some paint buckets. I had some paint brushes, and some of the stuff is really expensive. So, I go ahead and roll out, and takes me a few weeks. At that point, renting rooms from newspapers and penny savers and things like that. The internet wasn't quite what it is now. And then while that was going on, it was the wet season, so there was no painting. This is winter time, so no painting at all. I go ahead and I land myself a remodeling job, and start doing remodeling and everything else. While that's going on, why I'm landing these little renting room places and stuff, I told the story before. A place I moved into, I paid up front. It might have been like $400 to $600. I do that, and there was dishes inside the sink. I washed everything, and then a little bit later, I went and ate something, and the only thing I dirtied was a fork. And that guy freaked out. He came busting in the room where I was at and telling me that I needed to get out, and there was a fork in the sink. Oh my God! And I said, I'm not leaving without. I just paid you rent today. Give me my money back. He gave me the money back, and then I'm in my car for a week or two trying to figure things out and stuff like that. And then I was renting a room where I caught somebody being a card shark, and like we were at like a family dinner. I've talked about this as well. Not a family dinner, like a friend's dinner and poker game. And the poker game is like $5 buy, and it's just some friendly stuff. And this person's not throwing her ante in, and she's also dealing from the bottom of the deck when we're playing Texas Hold'em. We're also playing a 5-card stud and stuff like that, playing poker or whatever. And I'm not too sure. I don't know exactly what it means when you deal underneath the cards. I'm sure I could Google it real quick. I didn't know back then. I just know that you're not supposed to do it. And it's very easy for me to see somebody do something like that. I was more mad about, you're not throwing your ante in. So if you went ahead and tried to bluff that round, and, you bluffed it or you went ahead and won that thing, you aren't losing anything by not anteing. You know what I mean? So nonetheless, that happened. And maybe I'll make another video, but this is the other times I was homeless. So literally, like I told you, I think I went over very well. And this is probably gonna be a long video. And that I know it's gonna be a long video. Hopefully, don't end it now. Let me talk to you guys for a little bit. I do need to run my watch time hours up. I will leave my Cash App in the description. It's the same as my YouTube name, AlienAscend. Please run up those likes. Please throw those comments in. If there's videos you haven't watched yet, please go watch those to run my watch time up. And thank you so much.